Hello, my dear friend. I want you to know that whatever brought you here today, whatever you're feeling right now, you are exactly where you need to be. There's something beautiful about this moment we're sharing together, something sacred about your willingness to pause and listen to these words. Your heart led you here, and your heart always knows what it needs. Right now, as you're sitting there breathing in and breathing out, I want you to feel something shifting inside you. It's subtle, like the first hint of spring after a long winter. You might not notice it immediately, but it's there. A gentle loosening, a soft exhale that your soul has been waiting to release. This is what happens when we allow ourselves to be held by loving words, when we create space for healing to begin. Life has a way of wearing us down, doesn't it? The days pile up one after another, each carrying its own weight, its own worries, its own disappointments. Sometimes we wake up feeling like we're already behind, like we're swimming upstream in a river that just keeps flowing faster and faster. The bills, the relationships, the health concerns, the dreams that feel so far away, they all seem to press against our chest, making it hard to breathe freely. And here's what I know to be true. Feeling overwhelmed doesn't make you weak. Feeling tired doesn't make you a failure. Feeling lost doesn't mean you're broken. These feelings are simply signals from your beautiful, sensitive heart that you've been carrying too much for too long. Your emotions are not your enemy. They're messengers, trying to tell you that it's time to be gentler with yourself. When we look around at others, it can seem like everyone else has it all figured out. Social media shows us perfect moments, carefully curated lives that seem effortless and joyful. But what we don't see are the quiet moments of doubt, the middle of the night worries, the times when even the strongest people feel like they're falling apart. Every single person on this planet knows what it feels like to struggle. Every single person has moments when they wonder if they're strong enough to keep going. You are not alone in this experience. Your pain is real, and it matters. Your fears are understandable, and they don't define your worth. Your struggles are part of your human journey, not evidence that you're doing something wrong. When you can really accept this truth, when you can let it sink deep into your bones, something profound begins to shift. The tight grip of self-judgment starts to loosen, and compassion begins to flow in. There's something magical that happens when we stop fighting against our difficult emotions and start welcoming them with love. It's like opening the door to a lost child who's been standing in the cold. Suddenly there's warmth and safety where there was once fear and isolation. Your sadness, your anxiety, your grief, these aren't invaders to be banished. They're parts of you that need love and understanding. The truth is, healing begins the moment we decide to be kind to ourselves. Not tomorrow, not when we've fixed everything, not when we're perfect. Right now, exactly as you are. This kindness doesn't require you to pretend everything is fine or to put on a brave face. True kindness acknowledges where you are and loves you anyway. Some days, being okay looks like getting out of bed. Some days it looks like taking a shower or eating something nourishing. Some days it looks like crying in your car and then wiping your tears and continuing on. There's no wrong way to be okay, no timeline you need to follow, no standard you need to meet. Your version of okay is perfect for you, right where you are today. As we sit together in this moment, I want you to feel these words wrapping around you like a warm blanket. Let them sink into the places that hurt, the places that feel scared, the places that have been holding on so tightly to pain that they've forgotten how to rest. You don't have to fix anything right now. You don't have to solve all your problems or figure out your entire life. You just need to be here, breathing, allowing yourself to be held by love. The weight you've been carrying didn't appear overnight, and it doesn't have to disappear overnight either. Think about how a river carves through rock, not with force or violence, but with patience and persistence. Drop by drop, the water shapes the stone, creating something beautiful in its wake. This is how healing works too. Moment by moment, breath by breath, choice by choice, we gently reshape our inner landscape. Your body has been keeping score of every difficult day, every stressful situation, every moment when you felt unsafe or unloved. Our bodies are remarkable in their ability to hold and remember, but they also have an incredible capacity for healing and renewal. Right now, your nervous system might be running on high alert, scanning for danger even when you're safe. This is normal. This is your body trying to protect you the only way it knows how. But your body also knows how to relax, how to restore, how to find peace. It's been doing this since the day you were born. When you were a baby, you didn't worry about tomorrow or regret yesterday. You simply existed in the present moment, trusting that your needs would be met, that love would find you, that wisdom is still inside you, waiting to be remembered. The accumulation of stress and trauma creates tension in places we might not even be aware of: our shoulders, our jaw, our stomach, our heart. This tension isn't just physical, it's emotional and spiritual too. It's as if we've been clenching our fists around our pain for so long that we've forgotten how to open our hands and let it go. But the beautiful thing about the human spirit is that it always remembers how to soften, how to surrender, how to trust again. When we carry weight that isn't ours to carry, other people's expectations, society's definitions of success, old family patterns that no longer serve us, our bodies rebel. We get headaches, back pain, digestive issues, sleep problems. These aren't random occurrences. They're our body's way of saying, please listen to me, please pay attention to what I need. Your body is always trying to communicate with you, always trying to guide you back to balance and health. The stories we tell ourselves about our struggles often make them heavier than they need to be. When we label ourselves as broken or damaged or beyond help, we add layers of shame and judgment to our natural human pain. But what if we could see our struggles differently? What if we could view them as evidence of our capacity to feel deeply, to care greatly, to be fully alive in this world? Every challenge you've faced has taught you something about your own strength. Every difficult day you've survived has proven your resilience. Every time you've gotten back up after falling down has demonstrated your courage. These aren't small things. They're profound expressions of your inherent power and wisdom. You've been handling hard things your entire life, and you're still here. That's not an accident. That's evidence of your incredible inner resources. The voice inside your head has enormous power over your daily experience. It can be your greatest ally or your harshest critic, depending on how you choose to work with it. Most of us learn to speak to ourselves in ways we would never speak to a good friend. We've internalized the critical voices from our past and made them our own, creating an inner dialogue that's often filled with judgment, fear, and self-doubt. But here's something wonderful. You have the power to change this conversation. You can choose different words, different tones, different responses to your own thoughts and feelings. This isn't about positive thinking or pretending problems don't exist. It's about speaking to yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer to someone you love who is going through a difficult time. When you catch yourself saying, "I'm such an idiot," or "I can't do anything right," or "I'm too old," or "I'm not good enough," you can pause and ask yourself, is this helpful? Is this true? Is this how I would speak to my dearest friend? Then you can choose again. You can say, "I'm learning and growing," or "I'm doing the best I can with what I know right now," or "I'm worthy of love and kindness, especially from myself." This shift from harsh self-talk to gentle self-talk isn't just nice in theory. It creates real changes in your brain and body. When you speak kindly to yourself, your nervous system relaxes. When you offer yourself compassion instead of criticism, your stress hormones decrease and your healing hormones increase. Your body literally responds to the love in your voice. to the safety in your words. The words you speak to yourself become the foundation of your reality. They shape how you see yourself, how you interact with others, how you approach challenges, how you receive love, how you give love. When you begin to treat your inner dialogue as sacred, when you become conscious of the power your words hold, everything starts to shift. You begin to create an internal environment that supports your growth instead of sabotaging it. Sometimes people think that being gentle with themselves means being weak or permissive. They worry that if they stop being hard on themselves, they'll become lazy or stop trying to improve. But the opposite is actually true. When you create an inner environment of safety and acceptance, you free up enormous amounts of energy that were previously tied up in self-attack and defense. This energy becomes available for creativity, growth, healing, and joy. Think about how a plant grows. It doesn't grow because someone yells at it or criticizes it or threatens it. It grows because it receives what it needs: sunlight, water, good soil, time. Your spirit is the same way. It flourishes in an environment of kindness and patience, not harshness and demand. When you speak to yourself with love, you create the conditions for your own blooming. The language of healing is always gentle. It doesn't rush or force or demand. It invites and allows and accepts. It says, take your time instead of hurry up. It says, you're doing great instead of you should be further along. It says, what do you need instead of what's wrong with you? This shift in language might seem small, but it's actually revolutionary. It changes everything about how you experience your own life. Within each of us lies a sacred space that no one else can touch, a place of perfect peace that exists beyond the chaos of daily life. This inner sanctuary isn't something you need to build from scratch. It's already there, waiting for you to remember it, to return to it, to trust in its presence. Think of it as your soul's true home, a place where you are always safe, always loved, always exactly enough as you are. This sanctuary exists in the quiet spaces between your thoughts, in the pause between your inhales and exhales, in the stillness that lives beneath all the noise and activity of your mind. It's been with you since birth, this place of perfect calm. But life has a way of making us forget it's there. We get so caught up in responding to external demands and pressures that we lose touch with this inner refuge, but it never goes away. It simply waits patiently for your return. Creating a conscious connection to your inner sanctuary is one of the most loving gifts you can give yourself. When the world feels too loud, too fast, too demanding, you always have this place to retreat to. It requires no special equipment, no perfect conditions, no specific amount of time. You can access it while sitting in traffic, waiting in line at the store, lying in bed before sleep, or walking in nature. All it requires is your willingness to turn your attention inward and remember that peace is your natural state. Let yourself settle now into this moment, feeling your body supported by whatever you're sitting or lying on. Notice how your breath naturally flows in and out without any effort from you. This breath is your first gateway to your sanctuary. As you breathe in, know that you're drawing in life, energy, and peace. As you breathe out, feel yourself releasing any tension, any worry, any need to be anywhere other than right here. Now, in your mind's eye, begin to sense a doorway opening within your heart. This doorway leads to your most sacred space, a place designed perfectly for your unique spirit. Some people see this sanctuary as a beautiful garden filled with flowers and gentle streams. Others envision a cozy cabin in the woods, warm and inviting. Still others find themselves in a peaceful temple or beside a calm ocean. There's no right or wrong way for your sanctuary to appear. Trust whatever comes to you. In this sacred space, you are completely protected from any negative energy or harmful thoughts. Here, time moves differently. Here, you don't have to perform or achieve or prove anything. You can simply be. Notice how it feels to exist in this space of pure acceptance. Your sanctuary holds all the qualities you most need right now, perhaps safety, comfort, understanding, or hope. Allow yourself to drink in these qualities like a plant absorbing sunlight. What makes this space truly powerful is that you can bring anything here that needs healing. Your fears, your sadness, your confusion, all of these can be held in the loving embrace of your sanctuary. When you bring your pain here, it doesn't disappear instantly, but it begins to transform. In this space of unconditional love, your wounds start to feel less sharp, your burdens feel lighter, your heart begins to remember its own strength. You might place your hands on your heart now and feel the steady rhythm there. This heartbeat is the drum that calls you home to yourself, the constant reminder that life continues to flow through you, even in your darkest moments. Your heart knows the way to your sanctuary better than your mind does. When you're feeling lost or overwhelmed, simply place your hands here and ask your heart to guide you home. The beauty of having an inner sanctuary is that it grows stronger each time you visit it. Like any relationship, the more attention and care you give it, the more real and accessible it becomes. You might start visiting for just a few moments each day, perhaps in the morning before you get out of bed or in the evening before you fall asleep. These brief visits are like deposits in a bank account of peace, building your reserves for times when you need them most. When life gets overwhelming, and it will, because that's part of being human, you can instantly transport yourself to this safe haven. In the middle of a difficult conversation, you can breathe into your sanctuary. During a stressful meeting, you can feel your feet touching the ground of your sacred space. When anxiety starts to spiral, you can wrap yourself in the loving energy of your inner refuge. This isn't escaping from reality. This is remembering that peace is always available to you. The more you practice returning to your sanctuary, the more you'll notice that its qualities begin to naturally extend into your daily life. The peace you cultivate in your inner space starts to influence how you respond to external challenges. The safety you feel in your sanctuary helps you feel more secure in the world. The love you experience in this sacred place teaches you how to love yourself more fully in every moment. Just as we care for our physical homes by keeping them clean and comfortable, we can tend to our inner sanctuary with the same attention and love. This means being mindful of what we allow into our mental and emotional space. It means choosing thoughts that support our peace rather than thoughts that disturb it. It means surrounding ourselves with people and activities that honor our need for inner tranquility. Your sanctuary is also a place where you can receive guidance and wisdom. In the quietness of this sacred space, your intuition speaks more clearly. Your inner knowing becomes more accessible. The answers you've been seeking often arise naturally when you create this space of stillness and receptivity. Trust what comes to you here. Your soul knows things your mind hasn't figured out yet. Now, as important as it is to have this inner refuge, there comes a time when we need to gently release what we've been holding on to too tightly. Just as a tree must let go of its leaves in autumn to make room for new growth, we too must learn the art of loving release. This doesn't mean abandoning or forgetting what matters to us. It means loosening our grip so that life can flow more freely through us. The things we hold on to often feel like they're protecting us, but sometimes they're actually preventing us from moving forward. Old hurts that we replay in our minds, resentments that we nurse, fears that we carry like shields. These all served a purpose at one time, but they may no longer be serving our highest good. Learning to release what no longer serves us is one of the most compassionate things we can do for ourselves. Release is not about forcing yourself to let go or pretending you don't care about something that matters to you. True release happens gradually, gently, like the way morning mist lifts from a lake. It's a natural process that can't be rushed or forced. When we try to push ourselves to let go before we're ready, we often end up holding on even tighter. Instead, release begins with simply acknowledging what we're holding and asking ourselves whether it's still helping us grow. Some of what we carry belongs to other people, their expectations, their disappointments, their fears about what our lives should look like. We pick up these burdens without realizing it, carrying them around like heavy backpacks filled with stones that aren't even ours. Other times, we hold on to our own past versions of ourselves, clinging to old identities that no longer fit who we're becoming. Both kinds of holding can weigh us down and prevent us from stepping into our fullest potential. The breath is one of our most powerful tools for release. Each exhale is an opportunity to let go of whatever we're ready to release. You don't have to know exactly what you're letting go of or have it all figured out. You can simply breathe out with the intention of releasing whatever no longer serves your highest good. Your body and spirit know what needs to go, even when your mind isn't sure. Try this now. Take a deep breath in, filling your lungs completely. Hold it for just a moment and then let it out slowly, imagining that you're releasing any tension, any old pain, any worry about the future. Do this several times and notice how each exhale creates a little more space inside you. This space is precious. It's where new possibilities can take root, where healing can happen, where joy can expand. Sometimes what we need to release isn't pain but control. We hold so tightly to how we think things should go, how people should behave, how life should unfold, that we miss the beauty of what's actually happening. Releasing control doesn't mean becoming passive or giving up on our dreams. It means trusting that life has a wisdom larger than our individual understanding, and that sometimes the most beautiful things happen when we stop trying to force outcomes. The process of release often brings up other emotions: grief for what we're letting go of, fear about what will replace it, sadness about time that feels lost. These emotions are normal and healthy. They're signs that the release is real, that something significant is shifting inside you. Let these feelings flow through you without judgment. They're part of the cleansing process, like tears that wash dust from your eyes. Movement can be incredibly helpful for releasing what we've been holding in our bodies. You might gently roll your shoulders, letting them drop away from your ears. You might stretch your arms up to the sky and then let them fall softly to your sides. You might wiggle your fingers and toes, shake out your hands, or simply sway gently from side to side. Your body knows how to let go. Sometimes it just needs permission and encouragement. As you practice release, be patient with yourself. Some things will leave easily, like leaves falling naturally from a tree. Others might take more time, requiring multiple rounds of gentle letting go. This doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It means you're human, and healing happens in layers, in seasons, in its own perfect timing. What's beautiful about conscious release is that it creates space for something new to emerge. When we empty our hands of what we've been clutching, we become available to receive what's trying to come to us. This might be new opportunities, deeper relationships, creative inspiration, or simply a greater sense of peace and freedom. The universe is always conspiring to bring us what we need, but sometimes our hands are too full of old things to receive the new gifts. With this gentle process of release creating more space in your life, you can turn your attention to the tender work of nurturing your wounded heart. Your heart has been through so much, has felt so deeply, has loved so bravely despite the risks. It deserves the same careful attention and gentle care you would give to any precious thing that has been hurt. When we have a physical wound, we naturally tend to it with care. We clean it gently, keep it protected while it heals, and we're patient with the time it takes to fully mend. We don't expect it to heal overnight, and we don't criticize it for taking time to get better. We understand that healing is a natural process that requires the right conditions: cleanliness, protection, rest, and time. Our emotional wounds deserve the same kind of compassionate care. Your heart might be carrying wounds from many different sources. Perhaps you've experienced loss that still aches, rejection that still stings, betrayal that still confuses you, or disappointment that still weighs heavy. Maybe you've been hurt by people you trusted, or by circumstances beyond your control, or even by your own choices that you now regret. All of these experiences leave marks on our tender hearts, and all of them deserve acknowledgement and care. The first step in nurturing your wounded heart is simply recognizing that it has been hurt. This might seem obvious, but many of us have learned to minimize our pain or pretend it doesn't affect us. We tell ourselves we should be over it by now, or that others have had it worse, or that we're being too sensitive. But your pain is real and valid, regardless of how it compares to anyone else's experience. Your heart's wounds matter because your heart matters. Place your hands gently on your chest now and feel the warmth of your own touch. This simple gesture sends a message to your nervous system that you are safe, that you are loved, that you are not alone with your pain. Your heart recognizes the comfort of your own loving touch, just as a child is soothed by a parent's gentle hand. You have the power to comfort yourself, to be your own source of loving care. Healing happens in layers, like the rings of a tree growing slowly outward. You don't heal all at once from the deepest wounds. You heal gradually, season by season, experience by experience. Some days you might feel like you've made tremendous progress, and other days you might feel like you're back where you started. This is normal. Healing isn't linear. It spirals and circles and moves in its own mysterious rhythm. Your wounded heart needs the same kind of gentle patience you would offer a frightened animal. Sudden movements or harsh demands will only cause it to retreat further. But steady, gentle presence, consistent kindness, and patient understanding will slowly coax it back to openness. Your heart wants to heal, wants to love again, wants to trust again. It's just been protecting itself the only way it knows how. Sometimes the heart heals through tears, and these tears are sacred. They're not a sign of weakness. They're a sign that your heart is releasing what it's been holding, that it's washing itself clean, that it's making space for something new. Let your tears come when they need to come. Honor them as part of your healing process. Your heart knows how to cleanse itself if you give it permission. Other times, the heart heals through gentle words of comfort and understanding. You might whisper to your heart, "I know you've been hurt. I know you've been scared. I'm here with you now. You're safe. You're loved. You don't have to carry this pain alone anymore." These words, spoken with sincerity and love, begin to create new neural pathways of comfort and safety. Your heart begins to remember that it is worthy of tenderness. The wounded heart also heals through acts of self-compassion. This might mean taking a warm bath when you're feeling sad, wrapping yourself in a soft blanket when you're feeling vulnerable, or giving yourself permission to rest when you're feeling overwhelmed. It might mean speaking to yourself with the same kindness you would offer a good friend, or choosing activities that bring you joy rather than activities that drain you. Sometimes people worry that if they're too gentle with their wounded hearts, they'll never get over their pain. They think they need to be tough or push through or just get over it already. But the heart doesn't heal through force or pressure. It heals through love, through safety, through the gradual rebuilding of trust in life's essential goodness. When you approach your wounded heart with patience and compassion, you're not enabling weakness, you're creating the conditions for true strength to emerge. Your heart has an incredible capacity for renewal. Even after the deepest wounds, even after the most profound losses, the heart can learn to open again, to love again, to trust again. This doesn't mean forgetting what happened or pretending the pain wasn't real. It means allowing your heart to grow larger than your wounds, to expand beyond your past hurts, to make room for new experiences of love and joy. As you nurture your wounded heart, you might begin to notice something beautiful happening. The places where you've been broken often become the places where you're most open to giving and receiving love. Your wounds, when healed with consciousness and care, become sources of wisdom and compassion. You understand pain in a way that allows you to offer real comfort to others. Your healing becomes a gift not just to yourself, but to everyone whose life you touch. The world has taught us to see vulnerability as something to avoid, something that makes us weak or exposed. We learn early to put on armor, to hide our tender feelings, to pretend we have it all together even when we're falling apart inside. But what if everything we've been taught about vulnerability is backwards? What if the very thing we've been trying to avoid is actually the doorway to our greatest strength? True vulnerability isn't about being weak or defenseless. It's about having the courage to show up authentically in your life, to let people see who you really are beneath all the masks and pretenses. It's about being willing to say, I don't know, or I'm scared, or I need help. It takes tremendous strength to be real in a world that often rewards pretending. It takes incredible courage to keep your heart open when you've been hurt. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, something magical happens. The energy you've been using to maintain your protective walls becomes available for other things, for creativity, for connection, for growth, for joy. Those walls that seemed so necessary for protection were actually keeping out not just pain, but also love, opportunity, and all the beautiful experiences that make life worth living. Think about the people you feel closest to, the ones you trust most deeply. Chances are, these are people who have shared their real selves with you, who have let you see their imperfections and struggles. Their willingness to be vulnerable created space for intimacy and trust. Their authenticity gave you permission to be authentic too. This is how real connection happens, not through perfection, but through the courage to be seen as we truly are. Your so-called weaknesses, your sensitivities, your tender spots, these aren't flaws to be fixed or hidden. They're often your greatest gifts in disguise. The person who has known deep sadness often becomes a source of comfort for others who are grieving. The person who has struggled with anxiety learns to create calm and safety wherever they go. The person who has felt like an outsider develops a special ability to make others feel welcome and included. Being vulnerable doesn't mean sharing everything with everyone or having no boundaries. Healthy vulnerability is about being selective and intentional about when and with whom you open your heart. It's about learning to trust your intuition about which people and situations are safe for your tender self. Some people have earned the right to see your vulnerability through their consistent kindness and trustworthiness. Others haven't yet proven themselves worthy of that gift. When you share your struggles with safe people, you often discover that you're not alone in your experiences. That thing you thought made you weird or broken or different, others have felt it too. That fear you thought was unique to you, others have wrestled with it as well. Your vulnerability creates bridges of understanding and connection. It reminds everyone involved that we're all human, all struggling sometimes, all in need of love and acceptance. Vulnerability also means being honest with yourself about what you really want, what you really need, what really matters to you. It means stopping the exhausting performance of trying to be who you think you should be and allowing yourself to discover who you actually are. This kind of self-honesty can be scary because it might mean admitting that the life you're living isn't the life you truly want. But this admission is the first step toward creating a life that's genuinely yours. The strength that comes from vulnerability is different from the strength that comes from hardening yourself against the world. It's flexible rather than rigid, open rather than closed, responsive rather than reactive. It's the strength of the tree that bends in the storm rather than the strength of the tree that tries to stand rigid and ends up breaking. This kind of strength grows stronger through use rather than wearing out through effort. When you embrace vulnerability as a strength rather than a weakness, you begin to see your whole life differently. Your mistakes become learning opportunities rather than sources of shame. Your struggles become evidence of your courage rather than proof of your inadequacy. Your sensitivity becomes a superpower rather than a liability. Your need for connection becomes a bridge to others rather than something to be embarrassed about. As you learn to find strength in your vulnerability, you'll want to create daily practices that support this new way of being. Healing isn't something that happens once and then you're done forever. It's an ongoing process that requires consistent, gentle attention. Just as you brush your teeth every day to maintain your physical health, you need daily practices to maintain your emotional and spiritual well-being. Creating a morning routine that nurtures your spirit can set the tone for your entire day. This doesn't have to be complicated or time-consuming. It might be as simple as spending 5 minutes in gratitude, thinking of 3 things you appreciate about your life. It might be looking in the mirror and saying something kind to yourself, or setting an intention for how you want to move through your day. The key is consistency rather than perfection. Your morning practice might include gentle movement that helps you connect with your body. This could be stretching, yoga, dancing to your favorite song, or simply taking a few deep breaths while noticing how your body feels. Movement helps release any tension or anxiety that might have accumulated overnight and reminds you that you have agency in how you care for yourself. Writing can be incredibly powerful for processing emotions and gaining clarity. You might keep a journal where you write about your feelings, your dreams, your concerns, your hopes. This doesn't have to be lengthy or eloquent. Even a few sentences can help you understand what's happening in your inner world. Sometimes the act of putting feelings into words helps them feel more manageable and less overwhelming. Creating personal affirmations that resonate with your specific needs and situation can rewire your brain toward more positive and supportive thoughts. These aren't generic positive statements that feel fake or forced. They're personalized declarations of truth about who you are and who you're becoming. They might address specific fears or insecurities you're working with, or they might focus on qualities you want to cultivate. An evening routine can help you process the day and prepare for restorative sleep. This might include reflecting on what went well during the day, what you learned, and what you're grateful for. It might involve releasing any stress or worry from the day through gentle breathing or meditation. Creating this boundary between day and night helps your nervous system shift into rest mode. The practice of forgiveness, both of yourself and others, is essential for ongoing healing. This doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior or pretending hurt didn't happen. It means releasing the grip that past pain has on your present peace. Forgiveness is often a process rather than a one-time event, something you might need to practice repeatedly as you peel back layers of hurt and resentment. Regular connection with nature, even in small ways, can be deeply healing. This might mean taking walks outside, tending to plants, watching sunsets, or simply opening a window to breathe fresh air. Nature has a way of putting our problems in perspective and reminding us that we're part of something larger and more beautiful than our individual struggles. Building and maintaining supportive relationships is crucial for sustained well-being. This means being intentional about spending time with people who see and appreciate your authentic self, who celebrate your growth, and who offer love without conditions. It also means learning to recognize and distance yourself from relationships that consistently drain your energy or make you feel bad about yourself. Creating boundaries around your time, energy, and attention is an act of self-love. This means saying no to commitments that don't align with your values or that overwhelm your capacity. It means protecting time for rest, for activities that bring you joy, and for the people who matter most to you. Boundaries aren't walls. They're gates that you control, allowing in what nourishes you and keeping out what depletes you. As you develop these daily practices, trust is growing in something beautiful and powerful, your own innate capacity for healing. Deep within you lies wisdom that has guided human beings for thousands of years. Your body knows how to heal from injury. Your mind knows how to learn and adapt. Your spirit knows how to find meaning and purpose even in difficult circumstances. This wisdom doesn't come from books or experts. It comes from the intelligence of life itself flowing through you. You've been healing all your life, often without even realizing it. When you scraped your knee as a child, your body knew exactly how to repair the damaged tissue. When you learned to walk, your brain figured out balance and coordination through trial and error. When you faced challenges in your life, something inside you has always found a way through, even when you couldn't see the path clearly. This same intelligence is at work in your emotional and spiritual healing. Your intuition is constantly offering you guidance about what you need for your well-being. Sometimes it whispers through subtle body sensations, a tightness in your chest when something isn't right for you, a sense of expansion when you're moving in a good direction. Sometimes it speaks through your emotions, your dreams, your sudden insights, or your inexplicable knowing about situations and people. Learning to listen to and trust this inner guidance is one of the most important skills you can develop. The healing wisdom within you knows that recovery isn't linear. It understands that some days will be harder than others, that progress sometimes looks like moving backwards, that breakthrough often comes after breakdown. Your inner wisdom doesn't judge these fluctuations. It simply continues the work of restoration and growth, trusting in the natural cycles of expansion and contraction, activity and rest, struggle and ease. This inner healing intelligence also knows that you don't have to figure everything out all at once. It works incrementally, addressing what's ready to be healed while allowing other things to remain dormant until you're strong enough to face them. You can trust this timing. You can trust that what you need to know will be revealed when you're ready to know it, that what you need to heal will surface when you have the resources to handle it. Your body is constantly giving you feedback about what supports your healing and what hinders it. Certain foods make you feel energized, while others make you sluggish. Certain activities lift your spirits, while others drain you. Certain people inspire and encourage you, while others leave you feeling depleted. Learning to pay attention to these signals and honor what your body is telling you is a form of self-respect and self-care. The same intelligence that grows flowers from seeds and heals cuts on your skin is also working to mend your heart, to integrate your experiences, to help you grow into the fullest version of yourself. You don't have to understand exactly how this process works. You just have to cooperate with it by creating supportive conditions and getting out of your own way. Trust that your healing journey is uniquely yours. What works for others might not work for you, and what doesn't work for others might be exactly what you need. Your path might be faster or slower than someone else's, more gentle or more intense, more internal or more external. There's no right way to heal except the way that honors your individual needs and circumstances. As you learn to trust your own healing wisdom, you begin to see that you're not broken and in need of fixing. You're a whole person having a human experience, learning and growing and evolving exactly as you're meant to. Your struggles aren't evidence that something is wrong with you. They're evidence that you're alive, that you're engaged with life, that you're brave enough to keep growing even when it's difficult. And so we come to this moment, you and I, having traveled together through words that I hope have touched something deep within your heart. As you sit here now, breathing in this moment, breathing out whatever you no longer need to carry, I want you to know something with absolute certainty. You are going to be okay. Not because your problems will magically disappear, not because life will suddenly become easy, but because you have everything within you that you need to handle whatever comes your way. You are so much stronger than you realize, so much more resilient than you give yourself credit for, so much more loved than you allow yourself to believe. The very fact that you've made it this far, through all the challenges and changes and unexpected turns your life has taken, is proof of your incredible inner strength. You've been handling difficult things your entire life, and you're still here, still growing, still reaching for something better. Your heart, tender as it is also brave beyond measure. It has loved despite the risk of loss, hoped despite disappointment, trusted despite betrayal. It has felt the full spectrum of human emotion and somehow found the courage to keep opening, keep feeling, keep caring. This is not weakness. This is the greatest strength there is. Your willingness to remain open in a world that often feels closed is a gift, not just to yourself, but to everyone whose life you touch. The journey of healing and growth that you're on doesn't have a final destination where you arrive perfect and complete. It's an ongoing adventure of becoming more yourself, more compassionate, more aware, more alive. There will be setbacks and breakthroughs, difficult days and joyful ones, times when you feel lost and times when you feel found. All of this is part of the beautiful, messy, magnificent experience of being human. Remember that you're not alone on this journey. Even when you feel isolated or misunderstood, you're connected to every person who has ever struggled, who has ever doubted themselves, who has ever wondered if they had what it takes to keep going. Your willingness to face your challenges with consciousness and courage makes you part of an invisible community of healing hearts all around the world. Trust the process of your life, even when you can't see where it's leading. Trust the wisdom of your own heart, even when others don't understand your choices. Trust that love is always available to you, especially the love you can give to yourself. Trust that this moment of difficulty will pass, just as all moments pass, and that growth and healing are possible at any stage of life. You are a miracle walking around in an ordinary body, a universe of possibility disguised as a person with problems. Your very existence is extraordinary, your capacity for love unlimited, your potential for growth infinite. On the days when you forget this truth, come back to these words. Let them remind you of who you really are beneath all the fears and doubts and temporary confusion. You're going to be okay, my dear friend. In fact, you're going to be more than okay. You're going to discover depths of strength you didn't know you had, experience levels of peace you didn't think were possible, and find ways to love yourself that will transform not just your own life, but the lives of everyone around you. This is my promise to you, and it's a promise your own heart is making as well. Take a deep breath now and let these words settle into the deepest part of yourself. You are loved, you are worthy, you are enough, and you are going to be beautifully, wonderfully okay.